Welcome to another episode of the Ultimate Intimacy Podcast with your third favorite hosts, Nick and Amy. We're excited to have you. And
Now we're third favorite.
I don't know. I'm just
Some
throwing it out there.
second favorite. I'm like, wait, why
Oh, we should be going up here.
why can't we be the first favorites?
I'm just making a joke. I
Maybe.
hope.
If we're in your top five, we'll take. Well, if you're listening,
Absolutely.
you're probably top five.
Yeah.
That's cool.
If you're listening, you probably like the podcast, or you're doing. You're like, who are these people? I'm trying to determine if you want to listen, but no, we hope you enjoy the podcast. Today's episode, we're going to dive into jealousy in marriage. The reason why we want to talk about this subject is we've kind of seen it have a very huge impact on a couple that we know very well.
Many couples.
Yeah, actually many couples,
I've
right?
actually got a whole list of things that people have said. So
I'm
going to share that.
Yeah, so we'll dive in, but I'm going to set it up just a little bit. So Amy and I had some great friends that we were very close to. We would go out to dinner with, and on paper, just looking at them, you would look and say, "Oh my heck, they have an amazing marriage." You could line up 1,000 couples, and they would have been the last couple on the list that we would have ever thought would have got divorced. And you know, lo and behold, we find out they're getting divorced
for many reasons.
For many reasons, but one of the main reasons that we believe is jealousy, and so we want to talk about that because jealousy can cause a lot of issues in marriage, and whether it's a little bit of jealousy or a lot of jealousy, and typically if there's some jealousy in the marriage, it's due to insecurities on ourselves a lot of the time.
Or your spouse just
or past experiences, right?
Or your spouse is good at making you feel jealous, which isn't cool.
Well,
I mean, it just goes a lot of different ways, right? Sometimes it's insecurity. Sometimes your spouse could just be rude. Like there's
agreed. There's a lot of reasons.
There's a lot of reasons.
But we wanted to hit on this subject because we think it's an important one, and I don't recall ever talking about this on a podcast. Again, we're not. Amy and I are not marriage therapists.
Don't claim to be.
We don't claim to be.
Right.
We just share experiences, the things that we've learned, the things that we see.
We hear from a lot of people. Yep.
So that's where we're at.
Okay, I think it's important to start off with this. This isn't about like, oh, my spouse makes me feel jealous, or I have insecurity problems all the time, so I'm always jealous of everything. This can be a wide range that absolutely will affect everybody. It can range from, I'm jealous that my wife spends more time with the kids and I am at the bottom of the list. It can be, I'm jealous that my husband is on his phone more than he wants to take me on a date night. Like, vice versa, right? Like this is not just like jealousy as in people.
Yeah.
It can be jealousy, how it affects your entire marriage. Jealousy as in always getting compared to, social media. Like there's lots of ways and reasons that spouses feel jealous.
I agree, and I'm glad you pointed that out.
Like this isn't just like, oh, my spouse is controlling, or I'm jealous when they look at someone else or something like that. This can be jealousy. We hear from tons of husbands that they're jealous that the wife, prioritizes everything over them, or she or he, prioritizes their phone over there's a lot of things to be jealous about.
Or their 3 dogs.
Nick is jealous all the time in our marriage. He's gonna be very open about that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be totally open about it.
He thinks I make out with the dog more.
If you saw the way our dogs got treated in this home.
They're my babies. They're not my dogs. You didn't give me more kids, so I had to buy me some babies.
They're eating filet mignon and lobster.
No, they're not. He's joking.
Oh, they have massages every day.
I do make them fresh chicken. And I might freeze dry their food. Yeah. And they might sleep by me and kiss me every morning and night.
If I ever die, Amy is going to have tons of dogs. It's going to be like
taking my my insurance money, buying a farm, rescuing dogs. That's my plan. But it's not a plan.
Oh, hold on. That's your plan?
Well, Nick says he's going to die before me. So my plan is maybe 85. I don't know. I don't know how old they'll be. You've already got 5 years on me already.
Oh, Nick,
and then now you're saying that you're going to die before me. So I'm like, I could have 10 years without you to just be a dog rescuer.
I guess that's
Isn't
true.
that
I
a good
guess
thing? You don't
that's
have to
true.
be jealous of me to run out and get married. I'm
That's
just gonna
true.
buy
Yeah.
dogs. That's
Yeah.
a
I think that's a great thing. Go buy a ton of dogs.
He's always saying like you're gonna be a cougar. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna be a dog rescuer. It's
Well,
fine.
if the truth be told, Amy did say, she told me one time, she says, if you die, I'm going full cougar.
That's a joke. I'm not gonna
So,
go older, that's for sure.
uh,
Okay.
we have fun
Anyways,
on this
sorry.
podcast.
Um, okay, can I just read some real experiences to start this off? Because it just shows you like all the different ways that jealousy can impact marriage. And I think, I mean, a lot of these are very real, like
Are you
they're
ask,
from people.
are
So
you asking my
I'm
permission?
asking permission.
Yeah, of
Well, Nick
course you can.
finished this podcast and then I kind of took it over because he didn't have anything planned. So
Oh,
this is
I
what
have
you
a
get.
lot planned. It's just all up here.
Okay, well, you got the rest of the podcast after this.
Oh, don't do that. No.
Okay, the first comment is my spouse liked a friend's post from years ago. I felt a surge of jealousy I couldn't explain. I found myself scrolling through their feed, overthinking every interaction and wondering if I was enough. That's happened probably to a lot of people. I felt jealous when my spouse laughed more at a coworker's joke than mine. I kept replaying the conversation in my head. Things that are just silly, right? There's some really silly ones in here. I discovered my spouse still talked about a high school crush. I knew it was logically harmless, but it brought up insecurities I hadn't felt in years. I felt jealous that my spouse seemed to bond more quickly with our kids and had a better, deeper bond, spent more time with them. It left me feel sidelined.
I think that's a common one.
That's a common
And
one.
I think a lot of husbands get a little bit jealous that typically the wife, and not all the time,
Not all the
sometimes
time.
men, in fact, we know someone firsthand that the husband's more
Yes.
like it.
Yep. Yep. Many people
But a
actually.
lot of times when the spouse is putting their kids far more importance than the each other, their relationship.
Right. Right. Checking out someone else on date night. I felt a pang of jealousy when my spouse glanced and was looking at someone else while we were on a date. For hours after, I couldn't shake the feeling I had lost. I can't read what they wrote, but jealousy looking at someone, right? There's many women that have contacted me and says my husband is always staring at other women. That's going to create some serious jealousy, and that's not always a she's insecure kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
When coworkers flirted with my spouse, I felt very anxious. I felt very jealous. I realized how quickly small interactions could trigger fear. Even a marriage I thought is built on trust. I mean, you can have this like super solid marriage, and these little tiny things are either going to chip away at trust, chip away at your security with yourself. Like, I don't know. There's just a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
I got jealous after seeing messages from another woman in my spouse's inbox, even though nothing appropriate was happening or talked about. It just stirred up feelings of inadequacy. I
That's where
mean,
boundaries come in.
boundaries, right? We're going to talk about
Absolutely.
that. We're going to talk about that. My spouse received a compliment from a stranger. I felt jealous. Sometimes they are insecurity things. Like you'll see things you'll be like, that's definitely insecure, right? Let's see. Let me just scroll through a few of these, make sure they're not the same. When my spouse commented in a friendly, playful way on someone else's post, I felt jealous and a little bit insecure. Um, I noticed my spouse admiring someone else's appearance. I'm not going to read the whole things. They're kind of long.
There's a lot.
My spouse reminisced about an ex in a very neutral way, but I couldn't help from feeling jealous. My spouse praised someone else for a big accomplishment. I felt inadequate. I realized I was craving recognition and affirmation. We needed to nurture this in our marriage. So there's just lots of things that can make a person jealous. I think it's important to say that jealous is natural. Jealousy is natural. I think that we all experience it. I think that we need to be really careful in our marriage to talk about this subject. And even if you're not experiencing it in most of those kind of ways, like it could be phone, it could be with kids, it could be their hobbies. I was super
Yeah.
jealous of golf when we first got married. I'm like, what the heck? I just had surgery and you're out playing golf. Like things like that. Like jealousy can come in so many different forms. So what do you do about it? I
Well,
guess.
why do you think jealousy is so destructive? Let's talk about that. Why do you think it's so destructive? Why is it bad to have some jealousy towards those things?
I don't know, give me your answer.
You
You
what?
don't have an answer.
No, I'm asking you a question. In your
I'm
opinion.
gonna ask it back.
Okay. Well, I think when you're jealous, it fosters a lot of resentment and frustration. I think Like we've talked, like you've shared in some of those examples, I think you start to question things or start to, I guess, almost like a lack of trust. Like, can I trust my spouse?
Hmm.
And a lot of them may be valid, a lot of them may not be valid.
Hmm.
But I think, going back, that's where we talk about setting boundaries.
Right.
So that a lot of these things don't happen.
I think if you read through a lot of the comments or think about experiences in your own life where you felt jealous in your marriage or jealous of somebody or something or an action, whatever it was, I think if you like exactly what you're saying, it's some kind of resentment, some kind of insecurity, something that needs to be discussed, a boundary that needs to get set. There's like usually some kind of deeper emotion in there, right?
Yeah, and I think with pretty much, you know, almost all aspects of jealousy when it comes to marriage, whether it's oh she pays more attention to the dogs or whatever it is, we feel like our spouse loves something else or
Mm-hmm.
someone else more than us.
Yeah.
And I think that's really what it comes down to.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe if they don't intend to do that, a lot of times we in marriage still do that, whether we're scrolling on our phone way too much. We're showing that, hey,
Mm-hmm.
that's more important than my spouse,
Right.
or giving too much attention to the kids. They're more
Mm-hmm.
important than my spouse. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I think some of these are normal and some of these are just, I don't want to say healthy, but they just happen in marriage, right? And they're
Mm-hmm.
not going to cause big problems or cause you to get divorced or have an unhealthy marriage. But then you also have the things that are very unhealthy. For
Mm-hmm.
example, we had someone share that their spouse called them like 3 or 4 times every hour or less while they're at the store. What are you doing? Why are you there?
Why are
Why
you
why
taking
are you
so long?
taking so long? Because maybe they didn't trust their spouse,
That's
right?
extreme jealousy, very toxic, right? If you can't go somewhere for an hour or two without your spouse trying to track you or find out where you're at or calling you or whatever, like there's obviously some insecurity, there's some trust issues there,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
sometimes we've decided comes from people like them not being the trustworthy ones, so they
Correct.
portray that on their spouse, right? Like I'm not going to get into like we're not therapists, but like there's deeper things going on when that happens.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
what we didn't bring up yet, and this is going to be the number one thing that I say, but number one is communicate and don't assume. You always say don't assume, right? Like if you listen to that list of things that people are jealous about, and that's just a start, right? I found that some of the spouses were assuming that their spouse was either having a feeling or some kind of intention that they didn't really know what that intention was. A couple of them said it was I didn't find anything. There wasn't anything there that was hurtful or something I should be upset about, but I still found myself being jealous.
Yep.
Like we have to not assume in our marriages, and that brings us to number one, which is communicate. like
100%.
like if I am thinking, oh, he's looking at this or talking to so and so or whatever, I'm automatically, if I'm jealous, I'm assuming maybe it's going down a road that I'm not
Well,
comfortable with, or so I can't just assume something. I have to ask, like, you have to be communicative
and
about it.
what's going to happen is that's going to start to snowball. You're going to start
Right.
to look in other areas and look for any reason like, oh,
Right.
why can't I trust him? Or, it's just going to snowball. And anytime you make an assumption, it's like 95% of the time you're wrong.
Right.
Whatever you're assuming is not how your spouse is feeling or actually what's happening. So
Right.
I think it's really important to never make assumptions. And like you said, communicate. Say, hey, you know what? I saw that someone wrote you on this post and you liked it. It made me feel a little jealous. Can you tell me about it? Well, yeah, absolutely. Like,
I'm
here's,
sorry I made you feel that
yeah,
way.
I'm sorry it
Yeah,
made you
this
feel
is what
that way.
actually
And
happened. Yeah.
we talk about this all the time, but really almost anything can be resolved with good communication. So that is absolutely the foundation is if you can talk about things, you're probably not going to have those jealous feelings in your relationship.
So if you take an example, say the lady is like, my husband was looking at someone else at dinner, okay? I'm sure there has been many times in everyone's marriages that they're like, who are they checking out, right? If instead of accusing in your mind that they're checking someone else out, this goes both ways too. There's plenty of men that are like, she's checking out other men that are jealous, okay? Um, Instead of accusing me like, who are they looking at and getting all insecure really quick, you can't assume, number one, and you communicate about like if you communicate like what are you looking at, and he's like, oh, look at that cute old couple, I was just looking at how in love they are. Obviously, hopefully your spouse is an honest person. You're like, oh my gosh, I thought you were
Oh, I thought you
like, your mind could go crazy for the rest of the night, and they weren't even like paying attention to that person.
I thought you were just checking out the 80-year-old woman.
Weird.
No, that's what I'm just saying. Like,
Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying though?
yeah.
Like you sometimes if you are in maybe you are insecure, or maybe they are doing things unintentionally, or maybe they are doing it and they're making you jealous, and that's not cool. It's just
Or
like obviously you should be checking out other people when you're dating your spouse or when you're married anyways. Like yes, there's attractive people. You might glance at someone. Don't keep glancing back. Like I just be respectful to your spouse, right?
well, the other day I started looking at someone and I'm like, I swear I know them from somewhere. And I was looking at them trying to figure out where I knew them from, right?
I don't know.
Like,
Was I there?
I don't know. I was like, where do I know that person from? I wasn't checking them out, but I was looking at them trying to figure out where I knew them from, like, something.
Mhm.
And there, like you said, there could be a
Right.
ton of reasons that you're looking at someone, right?
Yeah, if you're with your spouse, don't stare at people. Like it's just common sense.
Yeah,
Like if I'm checking out some guy in the corner of a restaurant while I'm at dinner with my husband, he's hopefully gonna feel jealous because actually can be a good feeling. You want your spouse to be like there's a loving jealousy too, right? Like you're mine. Like I would appreciate your attention, right?
absolutely.
Anyways, let's yeah, I don't want to go too deep with this because if you have serious jealousy issues, probably need a therapist. Let us know if you need a good one.
And by the way, that was a guy I was checking out, not a woman. But no, I'm just saying.
We had this conversation the other night in our own marriage. I came home from taking my daughter to pickleball, and this guy was like ripped and he looked like he'd been at the gym. It was at a gym, this pickleball club, and I came home and told Nick the entire experience. I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but he introduced himself and knew who I was and who you were, and we knew him 20 years ago. And I'm like, I probably did the same thing. I'm staring, I'm like, I don't know who you are. You just told me who you are, and I literally can't figure it out.
Yeah.
But like if I was doing that in front of Nick, he'd be like, "Will you stop staring at his muscles?" Do you know what I mean?
Was
Like,
that the day you were blushing? You were
no,
red. No,
no, it
I'm
wasn't.
joking.
It's just good to communicate. It's just good to communicate, and it's good to have these conversations about trust and like what hurts. It's okay to be vulnerable and be like, when you do this, it hurts my feelings, or when you do this, it hurts my feelings. And maybe I am a little insecure, or maybe it's not even an insecure thing, but being open and vulnerable, like this is what I've been through in the past. This is what happened in my college dating life to me, and this is why I have insecurity. Just kind of be vulnerable with those kind of things if jealousy is an issue, right?
Yeah.
If
Yep.
I knew that a girl used to do these things to you and then we got married and you're jealous, like showing me your back, like, oh, I understand why that would like frustrate you, and
For
try to
sure.
understand each other, right?
For sure.
Okay, next one is set boundaries.
I think that's step
Around
4.
express what hurts, which I already said, but express boundaries, right? Like identifying what triggers jealousy, what behaviors make you uncomfortable in your marriage, be specific, and discuss solutions together.
Yeah, and it really is so easy to do to talk about those things. If
No,
you
it's not easy to do unless you are good at doing it.
No, it really is though. Like sitting down as a couple and saying, okay, here's some of the things I feel uncomfortable with. Let's set some boundaries. Okay, let's do it. Let's
What
talk
about a
about it.
super insecure person though? That's like, I don't want to tell him I'm insecure and that I'm super jealous of these things. Like, that's going to be hard for someone like that. That's not going to be an easy
Well,
conversation, but you have to have it.
yeah, I was just gonna say you have to have it. You can't make an excuse that, oh, it's uncomfortable to talk about, therefore I'm not gonna talk about it and let him know, but I'm gonna get upset every time he
Right.
does something.
Right. Agreed.
And every couple's upbringing is different. So boundaries, like, are things that I might feel are not okay, Amy might feel is okay, or vice versa. And that's why you have to have these discussions and set these boundaries so that you can agree, like, this is not okay for our marriage, this is okay for our marriage.
Right.
And it's amazing how many couples think setting boundaries is stupid, but it really will keep you out of trouble. It'll keep you from having jealous feelings, and
Mhm.
exactly like we're talking about.
So be specific. Like, say something like, when you comment flirty things on social media, makes me feel very insecure. Can we agree on what's appropriate? That is a great conversation to have.
Absolutely.
This whole social media thing, swiping, lusting, it's rough for a lot of couples. It's rough for a lot of couples. So, I mean, what a great great opportunity to like talk about boundaries and jealousy when it comes to social media. And not even if they're like looking at the opposite sex or bikini photos or I don't want to say speedo photos
Speedo
because I don't
photos.
really think that women are looking at that.
I
Half naked, you know, shirts off kind of men. Like
had,
men are jealous too. Like whatever you're looking at, like it can be causing some
and I
contention.
want to make a comment too. It's really important not to dismiss your spouse's feelings. If your spouse is coming to you saying, "Hey, this makes me feel uncomfortable," you can't say, "Oh my heck, you just got issues. You're just
Right,
jealous. You
right,
got to get over it," right?
right,
Like you can't do that. You have to
right.
talk about it and have understanding
Hmm.
feelings as to why they're feeling that way. And again, if your spouse is feeling a certain way, even if you don't understand it, if that's important to them and they're being vulnerable, then it should be important to you.
And insecurity doesn't always come from their problems. Sometimes it's caused by the other spouse. So, a good conversation about insecurity would be, is there things that I do that make you feel insecure? And how do I do better at that? Because a lot of the security we feel about ourselves comes from our spouse, the
Yeah,
way they compliment us, the way they treat us, the things that they do when they're around us, that builds trust, right? So, it
100%.
goes both ways. Which leads us to number three, which is build trust. Wait, hold on. Skipping back, because I wanted to read this quote. Boundaries aren't meant to punish, they're tools to create trust, emotional safety, and clarity. Expressing what hurts you and working together on solutions turns jealousy into an opportunity for deeper connection. This is where emotional connection is built, is by these conversations and by saying, I'm going to try harder, or just, you know what I mean? Just being deep and honest with each other.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. Okay, now moving on. Build trust through consistent actions, which is exactly what we just said. But keeping commitments, being consistent. When your spouse does say, "Hey, this hurts my feelings," or "I feel jealous when you do this,"
Don't
I
dismiss them.
don't dismiss that and learn. I mean, let's get off of like looking at other people and that kind of thing. But like your spouse is on their phone a lot. Your spouse plays a lot of hobbies outside of their home. Your spouse is jealous because you spend so much time on the kids or whatever, or everybody else but them, right?
Yeah,
Like you have to build trust with those things by doing the things that build love.
agreed. Agreed.
Right? It's hard.
It
It can be
is.
hard. And this is where again boundaries with like phones or we need an hour together every night. I'm jealous of the kids. I'm jealous that you put so much energy into the kids and you never have energy for me. How do we fix this?
And those are
How do we fix
and
this?
those are healthy, like valid reasons, right? Like if
Absolutely.
your spouse is spending all the time with the kids and doesn't have anything left at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day to give to you,
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna feel jealous, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
Absolutely, you're going to feel jealous. That's what I'm saying. Like, jealousy is affecting everybody, whether you want to say, I'm not a jealous person or not. I bet every single person listening, including ourselves, could pinpoint
yeah,
something in their life that they're jealous about in their marriage.
100%.
Everybody, you know? I hear from, I mean, there's a lot of social media videos going around. Like, my husband spends 40, 50 an hour, 30 minutes, whatever, on the toilet. Like, I think that's he just wants private time and he wants to be left alone, right? Like, it literally doesn't take anyone that long. But wives are feeling jealous that he gets to go in there, close the door, and just pretend nothing's happening outside that door for an hour.
An hour.
I don't know.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah.
30
We
minutes.
don't need to get on this subject, but
We don't.
yeah, an hour. That's a little excessive.
But I'm just saying, like, there's things that people are jealous of. There's a lot of
Yeah,
different
yeah.
things. Like this is a big,
I'm
yeah.
jealous that it takes you an hour to take a deuce. I
Hey,
haven't heard that one, but
yeah, you haven't.
you have now.
It's pretty funny. Focus on connection, not comparison. This is where the comparison trap comes in with social media. Like, oh, vacations, houses, how much money people have, what they look like, what their family looks like, how they treat each other, like all these things to get jealous over. I mean, I don't think anyone that gets on social media doesn't get off and is jealous about something.
Well,
Literally.
and that kind of jealousy, even if you're jealous about like someone else's life or marriage or lifestyle, you're gonna start resenting your spouse because you're gonna be
Right.
like, why can't you give me that?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we have what they have? Why am I not going on these vacations? Or it's gonna be natural. So as you're jealous towards other
Mm-hmm.
things, even outside your marriage, you're gonna start negatively looking at your spouse in a negative light, wondering why they can't provide you that certain lifestyle or what have you.
Right. Right.
So destructive.
Or jealous of people you're looking at and you're jealous of them and it's affecting your self-esteem in your own marriage,
Yeah.
which is going to affect your husband and your wife. Like you know what I mean? Like you bring all those feelings back into your marriage, like you
Yeah.
just said. Absolutely harmful.
I used to be jealous of men that just had thick, lustrous hair and
It's true.
just flowing and waving. And
Like our son.
yeah, like our son.
You still are.
I'm still jealous. Yeah.
He's trying to grow some, but
Still
it's coming.
jealous.
It's coming. Number 5 is just get off social media if it's wrecking your marriage. I think that's where a lot of this is happening. I think that's where a lot of insecurities are coming from and jealousy, and everyone's got this perfect life. And
For sure.
there are really good things about social medias. I think a lot of it can be like, oh, I want that, so I'm going to set this goal to get that. That's not a bad thing. Like if it's pushing you to be better or have a better marriage or have a better this or get out of your box, get a better job. Like it's not always bad if you use jealousy in a positive way.
And I would say social media is probably the number one driving factor for getting people feeling those feelings of jealousy or
Agreed.
causing division in
Agreed.
their relationship. Because again, you're just looking at what people are portraying their best selves or their best lives, and
Mhm.
you're like, dude, my life sucks compared to this. Like,
I
how do I?
think I think most men are looking at their wives at night and they're like, "You're scrolling reels, yet you don't want to be intimate with me." That
Yeah,
a lot of husbands complain about that. A lot of husbands, and it goes both ways, obviously.
agreed.
But like, if your wife is like, "Well, I can spend an hour scrolling Instagram or whatever,
But
but
I'm
I
too
don't want
tired.
to be intimate because I'm not into
Too
that."
tired.
Right? Guilty. I'm being guilty of that. So, it's hard.
It is.
Marriage
Yeah,
is hard
we're not saying, and we're in no way saying this isn't hard. Like
for
I
everybody.
think we all struggle with this. Amy and I included, like, you know, but we recognize things. We try to have good communication about it. And
I have to try hard at not putting the kids first, not putting the dogs first. I sometimes I really suck at that. And sometimes Nick is like, I'm super jealous of the dog right now, and I'm like, oh, I need to be more careful. Like he will just say that. He's like, I'm super jealous of the dog right now, and my dog's like licking my nose, and he's like, I don't get that much affection.
oh, Amy, yeah.
There's a lot of spouses that feel that way. What are you gonna say?
Yeah. Just the other night in the hot tub. So Amy,
That sounds weird.
that sounds weird.
Yeah.
Oh, when the dog comes over to give you a kiss, and we're like, all right, every time you kiss the dog, it's a
I'm gonna kiss.
cha-ching, you have to kiss me. Okay, you guys are probably thinking like, dude, Nick's
That's
psycho. We're saying this jokingly. Amy and I are
I
saying
don't
this
literally
jokingly.
kiss my dogs like that. Like they'll come over like every 20 minutes when we're sitting in the
But
hot tub and they'll like make sure that I'm there, like I'm their little mommy, and they'll like come over and I don't let them lick my lips. It's not like that. But I give them
Amy says, I know you're jealous, so every time they kiss me, I will give you a kiss later. And I said, done.
well.
Dogs, get over here and go to town.
Anyways, that's a little joke that we did in our marriage so the jealousy on the dogs could go away. So find a solution that's gonna be more fun. Like
Yeah,
if
just like that.
yeah.
It's just like that.
A solution, right? We're looking for solutions, and that takes conversation, it takes commitment, and it takes intention, like everything else in marriage.
It
Like everything
does.
else in marriage. Yeah, that's all I've got. You got something to add?
No, I think that was a good episode. I think people know what we're talking about, and really just sitting down and having those conversations. If something's bugging you or making you feel jealous in your marriage or feel resentful to your spouse because maybe their attention's going somewhere else or they're doing things that maybe make you a little bit jealous, have those discussions, talk about it. That's how you're going to resolve it.
Yep, agreed.
So
Yep.
it is Christmas time, and Christmas is coming, and you need that perfect gift for your spouse. Look no further than Ultimate Intimacy, shop.ultimateintimacy.com. We got great gifts.
Mm-hmm.
We say this all the time.
We
Your
do.
your spouse doesn't want a new pair of underwear or a new bathrobe. Maybe they do. They want to connect with you. That's what your spouse wants.
At least the
Most
higher drive.
spouses,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
So get them a great gift. We ship fast, free shipping in the US.
You guys, we have
And
gifts for the husbands. They want the sexy coupon book. That's what they want. That's what every husband wants in a stocking. Get him a stocking, buy him the coupon book. That's all he wants. He'd be like, sweet, done. Thank you. That's all Nick ever wants.
through that.
You know?
Do you want to know what I want this Christmas?
No, I already know.
Okay,
And it hasn't changed, right?
hasn't changed.
I'm gonna get in trouble, be like, you cut him off. We know each other. That's what he wants. Uh,
Keep on
the
booking.
wives, if they want to enjoy intimate time more, we have the tools to help. Shop to ultimateintimacy.com. We have the tools to help. The best stocking stuffers for both of you this Christmas is definitely the all-in-one lubricant massage cream paired with the V-ring for her pleasure. If you don't already have it, you need
You're
that.
missing out.
You need it now. The coupon books are great. The games are great. Conversation deck. If you just want a better intimate life in 2026, you're just like, okay, we're sick of feeling like roommates. We need to be passionate lovers again. Go get our book in the card deck. Let's talk about sex. It talks about emotionally connecting things, foreplay, hot and heavy stuff, the deep, why you need to keep pursuing your spouse. I mean, it's talking everything from emotional connection to sexual intimacy. It's marriage changing.
Yep.
5 stars. So
Let us know if you have any questions. We hope you have a great holiday season. And until our next episode, we hope all of you find ultimate intimacy in your relationship.